Hello, my little goblins. We're here with another one. Another one that will make you cry or laugh. We don't know yet. So, we are playing Hanzo Control. And the whole deck revolves around this card. So, this card lets us add a ninjutsu art to our hand. So, we add ninjutsu art of transformation, which lets us sacrifice or tribute a ninja monster to special summon one beast, winged beast, or insect monster from my hand or deck whose level is less than or equal to the level of the +3, right? So what's the payoff? What's the payoff, Fatzoid? That's what you want to. That's what you're probably screaming right now. Your screens right now. Well, the payoff is we go into Dark Simorgh, which this card prevents our opponent from setting cards. We have anti-spell fragrance, meaning they have to set their spells before activating them. This means they're locked out of spells and traps. Now we also have Perform a 5 Rainbow. So if I set a trap or spell, while this is in the graveyard, it actually gets moved from the graveyard to the pendulum zone. But we have other ways of getting it. And if you have 0 set cards in the field, all monsters you control cannot attack or activate their effects. So essentially, it's like a one-sided. I'm not gonna say skill drain because non-activated effects like Masquerade Dragon or even Dark Simorgh won't be negated. Only the activated effects. So we pretty much want to lock our opponent out of playing spells, traps, and activating their monster effects. All right, and to support, we have Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning. We have Perform a Popper Up. This is just to look for our combo pieces. We also run Pot of Duality to look for combo pieces. Reinforcement of the Army searches for Hanzo. And if you guys are wondering what the Yellow Ninja or the Twilight Ninja is for, so if we have 2 ninjas in hand and we can't necessarily go for Simorgh, or if going for Simorgh isn't the best play, we can summon Yellow Ninja, which lets us special summon another ninja, and we can go into Baguska. And then the following turn, we might be able to turn Baguska into attack mode, and then attack, make Zeus, and then board wipe. That's essentially what we're trying to do with the deck. Let's see how it performs in the games that we're about to see. And I just want to say, if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe and like the video. I try and come up with some wacky stuff for you guys. Try and come up with some cool stuff. And join the Discord because we have some fun stuff coming that can be pretty interactive with on Twitch and stuff like that. All right, let's get to it. Hello, everybody. We're here for game 1, and our hand is looking spicy. We have pretty much a lot of the cards. We're mainly just looking for a ninja. We find a ninja. We grab Hanzo, because if you can get Hanzo, you might as well get it. And then we just set all our cards. And we get our... I know guys might be like, oh, I should have kept that Lord. But we're going to be protected by the anti-spell fragrance anyway. Here comes Dark Simorgh. There's anti-spell fragrance. Our opponent actually has a counter to it, which is Imperm. So he imperms the Simorgh, but he's still not going to be able to play a spell this turn. But he's going to be able to set cards. So our opponent ends up Wandering Griffin, so he's most likely going into the XZ card. And he goes into Galaxy Tomahawk. He has no out. He didn't have any spell or traps in his hand, so he had no out to the Pendulum card that was on the field. So that means he cannot activate Tomahawk's effect, meaning he can't combo, meaning we just win the game by default. Because guess what? Next turn, he's not going to have an imperm, and he's going to be locked out of everything in the game. So, beep beep. Alrighty, we're here for game number 2, and we have, again, our hand is looking pretty juicy. We use a Foolish Burial, then the Reinforcement to grab the Hanzo. Hanzo's going to grab our beautiful card, and now we have full combo. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I do want to preface, if our opponent ashes us, we just instantly lose the game. But our opponent does not ash us. So our opponent's locked out of spells. Summons his Magician Rod. Poor thing doesn't even activate its effect because it can't activate with Performa. Goes into Link Spider. Gonna go into Verte. He's not quite understanding how this card works, and then he concedes. That's just kind of how the deck's supposed to work. Alrighty, we're here for game number 3, and, well, we don't have combo, so let's see how we do without playing combo. So we set 3 with our Lord of Heavenly Prison. Our opponent's going to pot a P. They have a Harpies, Lightning Storm, Karas. So they end up grabbing the Harpies, but they can't really use it right now. We're going to Solemn Warning the Rescue Cat. And the reason why I don't activate the Lord's effect, because if I activate Lord of Heavenly Prison, he wouldn't be protecting the back row anymore, and he would be able to heavy Harpies me. And that wouldn't be cool. Noel wouldn't want me to do that. We're going to Call by the Grave this time. I was actually arguing maybe I could actually use Solemn here and then Called by the Grave end step, and then I could have Lord of Heavenly Prisoned. You know? I feel like that probably was the play, because that would have let me do on the end step. He couldn't react with the Harpies. But we're going to just keep poking him down for 1900 to turn. Kind of almost looks like we're playing stun, but we're really not. Fusion Destiny, we're going to have to Solemn Warning this shit. And very well, maybe it was a good idea saving the Solemn Warning. And by the way, I know Fusion Destiny went down to 1. The amount of games I play that my opponent Fusion Destinies me, like turn 1, is actually insane. I don't know if it's just I'm very unlucky, but he's going to Harpies my spell. Makes sense, right? But our opponent had no answers. They're actually... they just locked out of the game, I guess. We just kept stopping each turn. When your deck is reliant on your normal summon, you can really catch opponents off guard with the Solemn Judgments and stuff like that. Here we are for game number 4, and man, you know what? I'm gonna apologize if I feel a little tired. I've been starting to go to the gym again, and it's my first day back, and I feel like it's that plus the dieting has drained my energy, which is kind of rough. I feel like I need to do Coke or something, you know? Coca-Cola, I mean. So we're playing against Sky Strikers. Set to Shizuku. I don't know why they went into Hayate. That's kind of odd. But we have 2 Solemn Warnings in a Called by. Woo! We're going to be able to Solemn Warning this Ray. Keep him off. We're going to get Max Seed. We're just trying to keep our opponent off of their Link summons, because that's really where most of the power comes from for the deck. Currently only has 1 spell in the graveyard for us. Is pretty good too. We're going to be able to activate this reinforcement of the army. We can get that Hanzo. And we are getting Effect Veilered. So that's annoying. I actually think I could have won the game here. I think if I did not activate Lord of Heavenly Prison, I could have just activated Called by the Grave, and then I could have just summoned Lord of Heavenly Prison too. Or is this just on my opponent's turn? Let's see. If I set... No, it doesn't say either. So yeah, I could have just won the game right here. I could have just summoned, because we're going to end up finding out that this card's an imperm. I have no idea what this is, but we go into Nightmare Phoenix. Discard. Pop goes the Weasel. We're oh, never mind. Yeah, we could have just won the game right here, because this last card... Well, I don't know if we would have won the game exactly, because this last card actually would have prevented some damage. The last card he has right here is actually Forbidden Droplet. And he would have to discard pretty much most of his stuff to survive the onslaught. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a good idea not to play it because he does have this Widow Anchor, and the Widow Anchor is going to ham slam me. And now I'm able to Called by the Grave end step and special summon the Lord. And the thing is, with this last Lord that I'm summoning, since I'm doing it on his end step, we're going to be able to set a Solemn Judgment. And then the Solemn Judgment is going to be live for my turn. And then I have game. Because even if he has a card face down, he's just screwed, right? This last one is a long one. There's a lot of passing back and forth, though. So we got our Hanzo. We're almost... I want to say we're almost there. If we had one card, we'd actually just win the game outright right here. But our opponent's playing Alibur. We're going to summon Dark Samorg. He activates Fusion Destiny again. Dude, it's crazy. I think he's playing a pretty big deck, too. Yeah, he's playing what? He's playing like 46 cards or some shit. 47 cards. Some odd number. And the guy naturally draws Fusion Destiny. Kind of crazy. And then we get Super Polyed. Real fun. So, the funny thing here is he has no spells to play. Like, he has no cards to set. And nobody ever reads the Perform a 5 Rainbow Magician's effect. So, like, his card can't even attack. His card can't activate effects. Which is so funny to me. So, we're going to activate this last Ninjutsu Art. They're going to max C. And the reason why it's so important to get this off right now is because our opponent has no set cards. We need to keep it that way. Because even if he summons, like... Even if he summons 5-headed dragon or something, 5,000 attack, right? He can't attack me with Perform a 5 out, right? So, now he has Brandon in red. We end up countering that with our Called By. And... I'm honestly, like, while I'm playing this game, I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. I set the Solemn Judgment. Now, this thing about the Solemn Judgment, I feel like I should have used it earlier. Like, so, I have the Dragon Pulse Magician. That's fine. Just set it, forget it. Just wait until it's a pass back and forth game. Called by the Grave. I'm just going to fast forward a little. He activates Polymerization. I just let it happen. He goes into Guardian Chimera. Again, effect doesn't work. No card set. You know the deal. He ends up passing. I summon the Ninja. The only reason I flipped these cards face off is because I wanted to go into Geonator, but I need 2 effect monsters, and I didn't have... This is why I put Link Spider in the deck. Because you need 2 effect monsters. So I was going to boom, boom, trade. And then I could have started pounding him. But kind of unlucky. So there was another mistake I made. I should have set this last Ninjutsu Art. I only have 2 Samorgs in the deck, and one of them's already in the graveyard. So there's actually really bad to just set this Ninjutsu Art. Because it would have freed up space too. But remember, Masquerade of Dragon's effect's going to work. So here, when I have Anti-Spell Fragrance, I should be looking for my opponent's turn to just get rid of this Judgment as soon as possible. I'm not sure if I actually do though. And it's just a stalemate. He activates Brain Opening, so I actually do activate the Song Judgment immediately. It's just kind of unfortunate because our opponent ends up... This is what ends up happening that fucks us over, right? Our opponent plays Called by the Grave, and since we have that Dark Samorg in the graveyard, boom, that shit's gone. And now this card's negated. He can set a card and we're just dead. So if I did not set that trap... we would have won that game because Anti-Spell Fragrance would have just locked him out of ever playing any card ever. And then we could have slowly just overtook the game with our other cards. Like, I could have just slowly link climbed into Access Code Talker and just start popping everything he had. And then we could have attacked for lethal. Or, even better, I could have just... So the reason why... I know for a fact that I know why the reason I did it. But it wasn't a good reason. The reason why I had the card set is because with Hanzo, since Hanzo got me a card from the deck, I needed a card set on the field for me to keep attacking. But the thing is, he ended up walling me off with these fusion monsters, and the Dark Samorg was too small to go over it. I still think I should have just showed some restraint and just held back the trap card. So, big L on my part. Let's go to the deck recap. So, you stayed till the end, huh? I always knew you were a good little goblin boy. Or girl, I don't know. Well, let's talk about the deck. The deck just fucking sucks. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The deck, I had like a lot of hope for it. Like, I was like, okay, this could work. Like, this plus this and this. Like, I had a lot of hope for the fucking deck, right? But man, going second is an absolute auto lose. Like, you'll never win going second. Unless your opponent bricks, like they're playing Flonderies and they brick going second, you'll never win going for second. So that's number one. Number two, how can I put this? The deck's not like the deck actually, I will say this, the deck's actually relatively consistent. Like, relatively consistent in the sense that I can normally get at least like a ninjutsu art of transformation, like Samorg play, and a lot of the times I can get the Performa 5. The problem is we have no way of tutoring out the Anti-Spell Fragrance, and the cards that do tutor it out just are too slow to play, and we'll never be able to combo it off in turn one, you know? If I naturally open Anti-Spell Fragrance, it does feel like an auto win. It's like Anti-Spell Fragrance plus Hanzo and Performa. It could be either Foolish Burial or anything else to send it to the graveyard. That feels like an auto win because you just lock your opponent out of everything, right? But the problem is there's still ways of countering it, right? A lot of these one-shot combos that you see nowadays that like, it's like, oh man, this guy's going into Auroradon and doing this and doing that. Like that, those combos are insanely consistent. They do it literally every game, and on top of doing it every game, they always have, because since the cards, like since it only takes a few cards to like get the combo going, right? Some cards like can do one. You can do one card combos like with Prank Kids and stuff. It doesn't cost you that many resources. It's not that much of a hindrance since we need technically like 3 cards to really get this to happen. And one of these cards, Ninjutsu Art, is completely counterable by Ash Blossom. And another thing is when we do get some Morg out, if our opponent's playing Imperm and they have Imperm in their hand, they just have to, all they have to do is Imperm the Samorg. And then, hey, I can set cards and then do whatever I want again. So the deck has a pretty big flaw to it. I think the idea of it's cool, and I think it was like relatively fun to do. But like, I would say after like 20 games, I wanted to like punch my fucking, like I wanted to smash my face against the wall as hard as possible. It was pretty miserable. I feel like I'm, like I said, with the low energy, with the diet and stuff, I feel like that probably played a bit of a role. I'm hoping after a bit I get more used to it, or maybe I start taking like caffeine or something before I stream. But man, this deck, I thought I was going to have a lot more fun with it. Unfortunately, did not. And guess what? Your boy crafted 3 Sizos because I thought I was going to need these way more than I actually did. Do me a favor. Don't craft anything on this deck. Actually, if you're going to craft anything, craft like maybe the Psalms or Lord, because that's just a good card. Rate out of 10, I'm going to rate this like a 3.5, which I think is the lowest rating I've given so far. Or pretty close to the lowest rating. I'm going to give it a 3.5, and a tier list, I'm going to say shit tier, which is lower than garbage tier. Is it fun to meme on people? Yes. Is it fun to lose every game because everyone's playing Ashe and Imperm? Like almost every deck runs like 3 of each, or at least like 3 of one of them. No, it's not very fun to do that. So yeah, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, deck's a stinker. My win rate, maybe going first, my win rate was definitely considerably higher, maybe like 60%, 65%, which again is pretty fucking bad for me personally. Going second was literally, I think, like 0%. I don't think I won a single game going second. It just felt like once my opponent plays, like they go into a Rorodon, right? Once my opponent goes into I'm like, why bother playing? I can't play through like one. I could barely play through like a Baron. Why would I fucking bother doing this? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And also share this video with friends or something and say, wow, look, check out this fat idiot. That's pretty cool, right? All right. Peace.